Students at the Nelson Mandela University in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape have heeded the call for the nationwide shutdown, and students have blockaded the entrances to the north and south campuses. Let's bring in Lerato Fakisi. She's live for us there. What are you witnessing there, Lerato?
A very good morning to you, Blaine. So what you see in shot right now are students who have joined hands with other students from all across the country with one cry: free education and the clearance of historic debt. The one thing, Blaine, I think that really has come out after I spent the various part with students is that the majority of students, Blaine, are saying that the higher education has actually failed students, because a few years back there was this huge outcry declaration that's going to be free education, and now 6 years later the same students were hoping that this would be a reality are now fighting for the basic right that every child has to in this country. So the general feel that we got, Blaine, so far is that students say the government has definitely failed them, especially when it looks in terms of policy, saying that if there's so much money in the country and they are able to prioritize every other thing, why don't they prioritize education? Because the students say that they are the human resources this country is going to need to sustain itself in the future. But let's bring them the picture, Blaine, and hear from them exactly what their cries are and what their concerns are as young people in this country. Joining me now is Poncho Mhlongwana. Poncho, you've just come out of a meeting now with the Dean of Students. How was the meeting? What did you get from it? Are you guys optimistic and hopeful from that meeting?
Thank you very much for having us. Of course, as you have mentioned, it's Poncho Mhlongwana from the EFF Student Command. I would like to begin by bringing, the background of how this, came to life. Of course, we're having our annual Sofuna Ngenkani campaign where we identified that a lot of students are experiencing a lot of problems which cannot be resolved if we do not bring an urgent intervention. Therefore, as the EFF Student Command, we have decided to write a letter of demand to the university management. We wrote a letter of demand on last week on Wednesday to say that it must be responded not later than the 15th of March, which is today. Of course, as you can see that, of course, we are also in solidarity with all students across the country who have closed down the campuses with, the opposing, financial exclusions and academic exclusion. However, ourselves, which, in this context, at Nelson Mandela University, is a different thing, because we have written, a letter of demand to the university management, and we're expecting a written response from them. Of course, they called us with regards to that letter of demand to say that, of course, this is the letter of demands that you wrote to us. Therefore, can you meet and deliberate with us on these demands that you are saying to us? Of course, we met with them, we deliberated on that, and we showed them how important those, demands are. And of course, we were quite happy to see that the university management is also, acknowledging the fact that these are, pertinent questions that we are raising. And they have said that they agree with us on a number of issues. And we know that, as you are a student leader, you know that the university management also, operate in a different manner. Hence, for you as a student leader to also, save your credibility, don't say something and management tomorrow say another thing. You have to ensure that the university write this thing on paper. So we said that they must write that on paper, but we are quite happy with how the engagement went, and of course we are expecting to inform the students.
Thank you so much, Poncho. That was Poncho Mhlongwana, a student here on campus, saying that they've just come out of a meeting with the Dean of Students, Mr. Lutando Jack, and they are happy that the demands that they wrote down to the university have been heard, and they are hopeful that after this meeting more deliberations will take place, and above all, beyond just the talking, they will see their demands being implemented here on campus. But for now, let's go back to you in studio.